We can see today that the fibre connection is really making a big difference for people.
FTTH for me is life-critical infrastructure.
I think that today for society, fibre is just a given.
So 20 years ago it was a new environment really, driving fibre to the home round to homes, because that would give us the best technology for the future.
Being part 20 years ago of the fibre to the home industry was being a pioneer.
So pretty much nobody was very interested. So in the early days it was all about education.
So that was really a challenge to overcome those companies, those voices who said it's much too early to do fibre now.
So during the time we made quite a lot of reports actually, because that's what was required mostly to get the regulators and the Commission to understand what was necessary.
One of them is the FTTH handbook. It gives all the details there and really goes from A to Z, as we say, on what the different technologies represent.
People were lining up to get a hold of that one, because it was explaining from an industry point of view what fibre to the home is about.
We had to change everything for it. We had to build new financial models, we had new technologies, we had to dig up all the streets in all of Europe to get there.
Today we have a coverage of something like 60% in Europe, but only half of these 60% take really the service. And that's why we focus a lot on this adoption being convincing indeed the people to subscribe to the service.
Once you've built it, driving adoption of the infrastructure, getting subscribers to take services is the next big challenge.
One of the biggest achievements was when we first entered the European Commission and we got to talk to the Commissioner in person.
The importance of the inclusion of fibre in the electronic communications code, I would see that as an important milestone for the fibre community. It was the very first time that European legislation recognizes and references fibre specifically in the definition of so-called very high capacity networks.
Little did we know at the time that a major pandemic was going to hit the world in the form of COVID-19 that would force the Council to move away from its main revenue generating tool, which is the conference, and have to move to a virtual online environment.
It became obviously clear that a high-capacity, reliable network was needed, because a significant part of society was relying on being able to connect.
When I was Director General, I really like to say we are a Fibre to the Home Council family, people coming together to sharing their experience.
For me personally, being part of the FTTH Council also gave me a perspective. They gave me a family, a belonging.
So as we look forward, and as the fibre rollout approaches completion, we will have ubiquitous fibre across all of Europe's nations.
It's also important, once you get the bandwidth inside the house, to make sure that everybody can enjoy that bandwidth in each part of the house.
The role of fibre doesn't stop at the digital decade targets. It will have a very important role to play as a key component, the backbone of future 6G networks.
My wish for the future of the FTTH Council is to continue to be progressive, to stay ahead, to be one step ahead all the time, and continue to ask the difficult questions, not to be afraid, not shy away, but lead the way.
The future challenges are great, and I'm certain that we will achieve this, because look at where we got to in the past 20 years. It's just amazing.